Another preseason race in LOE. This is the second preseason race. We've got Lobby 4 to look forward to tonight. I am Matt, or also known as Matthew 40, and I'm joined today by the most American person you ever meet, Old Maverick, aka Brock. Hmm. Well, that could be very entertaining. Just do an extremely American accent. Let me see who's first out on track. I think it's Jamie Met 92. So yeah, we're just gonna do an onboard lap with him. Do you want to take it? Oh. Sir Ivo. Yeah, he might be. Ben Scott is the first one to set a lap. It's an 18-1. For reference, what kind of lap times were you guys doing? Oh, as Ghost Recon just pips in. Oh wow. Oh, that's a very good lap from Harry already. To as someone's retired. Is that at the in the castle section? Let me see if I can find anyone who's there. Yeah, United Bosnia just drove past it. He's crashed just before the final corner. I'm not sure how he's managed that. Might have just lost the rear on the exit there, but still to retire from the session in that corner is not great. If I'm gonna be completely honest. Well, let's hope this isn't like the last we'll see of him, that he's actually going to have a good race as well. But yeah, just going to go on board with Jav now. Coming through that S section, and he cuts the track. This was not a good time to go on board with him, unfortunately. Okay, let's see who else is on the lap. Connor O'Keefe, 44. He's very far down on the time though, so he might have backed off. And he's also running low on fuel, so I'm assuming he'll go into the pits, and he does. Let's see. Oh, energetics goes to the top, 16.5. 3 tenths out of Harry, 4 tenths out of Flip, and then the top three are far clear of everyone else currently. Well, I've just gone on board with Jav again, and it looks like he's going for a second lap. He's missing every apex known to man. Currently going for the S section, another apex unfortunately not hit. Doesn't invalidate for there though, so it will be very happy with that. And then opening DRS to go into the final sector. 58.5 in at the split. Breaks very late there, goes a bit wide, doesn't invalidate. The car gets very nicely out of the way, the Alpine. It runs slightly wide through there, losing the rear. He's still got a final lap on his hands, but is he going to finish it? He is. It looks like he is. Yeah, he is. Keeping it very close to the line, and an 18.7 to put him into 10th place for now. Well, I'll take it. I'll take over then. We've got They Hate Melty. He's coming through the final corner now. He's already like around 2 seconds up on the Jav, and he goes to the top of the timesheets. Well, it looks like we've got someone else in that top three. Then make that a top 4 as They Hate Melty puts in at 16.2. Very very good lap, and yeah, he's done it late on for the first runs, but he's done it very well, and yeah, that'll be a time for everyone else to aim for. Oh, as Ben Gallagher just invalidates. That's unfortunate. It was looking very clean up to that point, but it's unfortunately not. By the way, Year has said in the chat that we can't hear you. I'm not sure whether that's still the case. Whether all your settings are alright. Maybe my settings are the ones that have messed up here and I'm the culprit. As Swift goes into P7. If it's me, just let me know and I'll look what's wrong. Energetics going for a lap here, I think. Yes, he is. Just coming onto this DRS straight for now. Yeah, it's still the case, says Euro. So, yeah, if you can't find anything, I'll take a look. Then Energetics, 2/10 up currently. Might have been held up slightly by Ben Scott there. But that's alright, just coming through this double right hand here, shifts up the 4th and does lose the rear unfortunately, so I don't think this lap is going to be that representative of his actual pace. Oh, as Connor O'Keefe, I completely missed that, is popped up to P2, only 2/10 of They Hate Melty. Looks like the Ferrari boys are going very strong with a Red Bull in 3rd. That's not the first time we've seen that on with these cars. Let's hope we'll see a bit more of that tomorrow with Sainz winning the race, obviously. Yeah, Energetics has definitely backed out of that. And Sirunche, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce your name, but you've... Oh, Energetics is... Where's... Wait.
That's at the final corner.
Yeah, I think he's wanted to go into the pits. Let me see if I can find anyone... Okay, Fugly. Let me see if I can see anything on board with him. Where has he done that? He's done that... Huh?
I think he's hit the pit lane and it reset him to track.
Oh, that is... Yeah, not to call you out, Energetics, but that is a bit embarrassing.
It's a rookie mistake.
As Ben Gallagher has gone into P6, he was DMing me before now. Oh, James said that everything's okay in terms of commentary now, so you're audible. Yeah, he was DMing me before the race that if anything goes wrong, he's just gonna blame me, like as a Dutch commentator's curse. So I think that's the case here. I'm not gonna let him have it because it's definitely his fault, but oh well.
We'll blame the PS5.
Exactly, it's the smartest thing to do.
Yep.
Let me see. Can we find anyone who's on a lap? I think Ghost Recon is on a lap. going through there. A bit of oversteer on the exit. Opens up the DRS. He does. So I'm assuming he's on the lap. DRS is absolutely burning down. So yes, he is. He's currently 200s up on this lap. 1.8 seconds currently off They Hate Melty, so he'll definitely try to improve. Hopefully at least get into the top 10. Maybe look at around Axel or Sirunchi or Jay Hings. If he could get up into P7, that would be very nice for him. Turns there, slightly misses the apex, gets very loose on the rear, and yeah, I think that's this lap done. He isn't invalidated though, so he might just keep going. If he improves despite that tank slap, he's gonna call himself the Max Verstappen regen. Oh no, he's 9 tenths down. Yeah, let's go on board with someone else then. Is Ben Scott on lap? Yes, he is. He's a 10th up currently, so he's in about the same position as the Ghost Recon. Let's hope he doesn't make a mistake on his lap. Into 4th gear here. Just down to 2nd gear. Oh, very loose on the rear, and I'm just gonna stop going on board with people because every single time they keep making mistakes, unfortunately. Okay.
We just need to find new commentators. That's happened to both of us.
Let's see, Jav. 3rd time's the charm, I hope. Going for here. He's 2 tenths up on this lap, which would currently only put him ahead of Jess, but it's at least an improvement. Going for here. He missed the apex last time around. Gets that a lot more nicely there. Turn right here. It's a green flag, and there was someone who's caused the yellow. I'm not sure who that was, but anyway, Jav's powered on, and he's been able to set a lap into that. Put him into 14th position, just between Ben Scott and Jamie. I'm pretty sure you'll be happy with that.
Yeah. I mean, he's still 1.9 off pole. I don't think anybody can really find that amount of time around here. What am I doing? Oh my god. He spun again at the exact same spot, or at the exact same spot he spun last time when I started talking. They're doing this on purpose. There's no way. There's no way this is happening.
Well, anyway, let's go on board with someone who definitely won't bottle. Old School 3000. He's currently in the last position. He's adjusting to a new wheel, I think, and also using no ABS and no traction control. So that's going to be a very pleasant experience for him, I'm sure. It's 28.9, not the greatest there. Slight lockup, keeping it in 4th gear, 3rd gear here. Then getting on the power, quite nicely there. Unfortunately, a small lockup. Then back onto the power. Very good exit there, I'll have to admit. Then turning in here, gets the apex nicely. Out wide, back in again, and yeah, it's looking pretty decent so far. He's looking quite loose on the rear. Oh, and he's just about invalidated. Actually, for someone who's adjusting to new stuff, that wasn't horrible. But anyway, let's go. Yeah, let's go on board with Connor O'Keefe, 44. He'll have a bit more of a chance to get into those top positions, and he pits. Oh, that's a shame. It's a real shame. Anyway, if you'd had to choose someone for the last few minutes, would you say there's anyone out there that could possibly challenge Melty for pole position?
I would definitely say, I would say Energistics, but obviously he's binned it. Harry or Connor, to be honest. I think it's easy to find 310s, but maybe someone out there, outside of the top 4 that hasn't maybe posted a competitive lap time. I would have to say United Bosnia, or even Ben Gallagher. One of those two. I'd watch out for those guys.
Yeah, United Bosnia. I've heard a lot of him in the LOE Discord, especially in the food channel. He's constantly posting pictures of his meat. Like it's not many places, not many places that you can post pictures of your meat and it would be appreciated. But LOE is one of those places.
No.
I'm gonna hope that we don't have too many weird requests to join the Discord now. Anyway, let's just go for an onboard lap with Melty. Do you want to take this one?
Sure, we'll take it. Down the front straightaway once again, passing his teammate who just came out of the pit lane. A little unfortunate that he's not going to give him some DRS and slipstream down into turn number 4, but it's whatever. I think we have a rule against that now. Down the second DRS straight once more into the wannabe stadium sections. It's a very flowing part of the track if you do get it right and you clip all these apexes perfectly. Brings it right out 2 tires on the AstroTurf, 2 tires on the asphalt. Brings it right out once again. That was one of the most perfect sections I've ever seen. Runs it right over the curb. Swings it back to the left, back right. A little bit deep on the apex. Runs it wide and validates.
That's a massive shame. That looked really good.
Yeah, he was a 10th up and he invalidates. And now, if he can hit the brakes a couple times, try to get as much better as he can, he can go again. He's got enough time for it. But now this has just left Connor in the perfect position to take pole position away from his teammate.
Yeah, it does look like Melty's going to go for another lap. He's on 25% battery though. Like, that is not what you want. Yeah, let's go on board with Connor then. Let's see what he can do. Let's see if he can snatch pole. I'm not sure. If Melty does improve with that little battery, that's fair play to him. That would be very impressive. But let's see if Connor can do it. Connor O'Keefe. Try to replicate, I'm assuming the driver he's a fan of with that number 44, Lewis Hamilton. Hopefully not quite as poorly as he's been doing this season, obviously due to the Mercedes, and he's a 10th up already. Well, if he can keep it going like this, he'll definitely get on pole position. Let me see, just coming through here, keeping it in 3rd gear nicely, get that traction up to 4th gear, 5th, and up to 6th, then downshift back to 5th, I'm assuming. Yes, he does. Looks very nice on turn in there. Getting that clip, clipping the curb just too much, and yeah, that's all she wrote, unfortunately. They Hate Melty isn't going to do anything either, so that's that, unfortunately. Flip, who we haven't been on board with, has popped up to P3 very impressively. He's done it off camera, and I think he's still going. I'm not no, well, I mean, he is going. He doesn't have the battery to improve though, unfortunately.
I think Ben Gallagher's next across the line.
Wow!
There it is.
Wow! Oh my lord! 1,000th!
That's sensational. That is absolutely sensational.
Fair play. When the others didn't have the bottle to do it, he definitely did. Ben Gallagher on pole position provisionally. Let's see if anyone can still beat him. Ben Scott is on the lap. Sirunchi is on the lap. Let's see if anyone can do anything about it. Sirunchi unfortunately has invalidated, and Ben Scott is too far down to get even close to that. You see United Bosnia, you mentioned him earlier, maybe he can do something. Going through here, let's see if he's improving on his current time. He is, but nowhere near enough to get pole position unfortunately. Let's see, he might be able to pip Sirunchi if he really knows this this final sector. Oh, quite loose on the rear there. Then coming around here, keeping it tight all the way to the line. Let's see if he can improve. He does, and he does pip Sirunchi. Yeah. Very well done. Yep.
I mean, he was only about half a tenth going into the 3rd sector. So he made up then 2 tenths over the line. So most of his time was made in that 3rd sector. So just imagine, kind of want to check his other sectors to see if he maybe lost some time there.
Yeah. Well, that's very well possible, or he just put everything into the final sector. Yeah, well, that was qualifying. We're just waiting for Axel, who's in the pits, for him to be done, and he is now. And that was qualifying. That was a very surprising end to that. Both Ferraris didn't have the bottle to get it, and Ben Gallagher snatched it. It says 0.02 of a second there. I'm gonna keep it at 1,000th of a second because I'm I like the drama, and yeah, very well done. Unfortunately, he is Irish, so we're gonna have to demote him for that. We can't have any Irishmen do well. Gary Donegan is the reason for that. But anyway, let's go for the order. We've got Ben Gallagher first, Dave Melty second, Connor O'Keefe 44 in 3rd, Philip Namsram in 4th, NL Energetic 6th. In 5th, Harry in 6th, Ben Scott in 7th, United Bosnia 8th, Sirunchi 9th, Axel in 10th, Jay Hings 11th, Rommel Flugli, whatever is that name is next, and I think it was Swip after him, and then a few other drivers who unfortunately I couldn't quite get to, so I'll do that as we load into the next screen. Well, what did you think of that?
I think that was a very entertaining qualifying, and I even said Ben Gallagher is one to watch as someone who can improve over a big margin. And he was, I think he was about 8 tenths down going on to that last lap, and he made up that time. And he made up exactly 8 tenths because he was only a thousandth on pole position. So, if the front two are that close over qualifying, usually that doesn't translate to the race, but I still think it's going to be a really entertaining drive down to turn one.
Well, we can only hope. I'm just gonna finish the order. We had Rumpel Fugly in 12th, Swip in 13th, Ghost Recon in 14th, Jamie Met 92 in 15th, Ariel Jav in 16th, Jess Gamer 95 in 17th, Sarebo in 18th, Old School 3000 in 19th, and Marcio Marquis 0309, who didn't see sell a lap unfortunately, in last place. Well, let's take a quick look at the tire strategy. Very surprisingly, no one's on the soft tire. That's not surprising at all. I'm not sure whether you're surprised about that, but yeah, that's kind of what I expect in terms of tire selection.
Yeah, I think the medium hards, mediums, I think is going to be the standard we're going to see across all seasons on this game and across all divisions, probably across every single league, PS4, PS5, Xbox, even the PC guys. I am surprised to see that no one has opted for the softs, because if these guys were watching, the winner in Lobby 3 took the softs almost as long as the guys on the hards did. And
wow.
He ended up winning the race by about 26 seconds, so it just goes to show that these guys don't watch the other races, and they probably could have learned something from that.
What would you say that was down to? Just great tire management, or just the pace being so much better on those soft tires?
I think it was tire management. I don't really think... No. Never mind. He was on the mediums. He started on the mediums. So, if Flip Energistics and Marcy can take those mediums about as long as the hards can, go on the softs, they should be really quick, but they're going to have to manage those tires really, really well, about maybe 8-10 laps longer than they probably should be.
Okay, and I'm just gonna, before we start, I'm gonna ask one thing, not the usual top three, who's gonna lead into turn one?
Lead into turn one? Melty.
Melty?
I think go get Ben off the line.
Interesting. Well, let's see if the top three can get a good getaway on those hards, or whether Flip Downs or more energetics can get a good start on those mediums and maybe jump the top guys. But anyway, the lights are coming on now. 5 lights. And they are out, and away we go. It looks like Melty has had a very good start indeed. He's already alongside, and he's past Ben Gallagher already. He's made an absolutely fantastic start. Someone's on the grass already in the background. This is not a good camera angle at all. There they come into the first corner. Both Ferraris now in the top two. Oh, very deep there for Ben Gallagher, but he keeps second position, or does he for now? Connor's still side by side with him, but Ben Gallagher still got that, and Melty's far, far away. There are a few yellow flags. I think that's cleared up now. But yeah, that is a fantastic start. As is, Ben Scott really trying to get past Connor O'Keefe here. Going around the outside, he's not quite been able to get past there. And let me see, we had Flip Namstrom in 4th position. I think he's already dropped down all the way to 9th. I'm not quite sure whether you saw something. And I'd just like to say something. Jav has gone up from, I think, P15 or P16 up to P7. That is quite incredible. Up 9 positions. I don't know what he's done, what kind of jump start he did, but and he's getting past now by Sigunchi, unfortunately. Yeah, that was to be expected, but still, very, very impressive stuff from Jav there. And yeah, just gonna say Melty as well, already broken that 1 second to Ben Gallagher.
2 for 2 on both the qualifying results and who's going to lead in turn one. So, yeah, Melty obviously a very good start. The only thing I'm worried about with these guys is that you don't save ERS here. If you burn it, that's all you get. It's really hard to save around this track. But Ben Gallagher has made up a second in one straight, and he's going to do the over and under out of turn 3, burns some of that ERS. He's going to get Melty down this second DRS straight. DRS won't be available until the next lap. Melty's going to fight back into turn 4. Side by side once again. Ben going to just stick his nose just ever so farther into that corner. Going to force Melty around the outside. And Ben Gallagher going into the Estes section seems to have taken the lead, and yes, he has. The two Ferraris now going to try to pounce on him down into the third sector, and hopefully down this long front straightaway they should be able to get past Ben. And this is shaping up to be a really good fight as Ben Scott's retired. Going through the Estes.
Oh, and Axel has spun as well right in front of Jamie there. Where has he done that? They've both kind of retired at the same position. Yeah, they both retired at that left-hander there. This is very, very strange. Well, they haven't actually both retired. It's just Ben Scott that's retired. Axel hasn't, but he's spun at the exact same position, which is not ideal, of course. And yeah, I'm really interested to see what happened with Melty. He must have made a mistake somewhere in this turn 1, 2, and 3 section. He's trying to go past Ben Gallagher now, down the inside, trying to outbrake him, still side by side here. Ooh. This is great wheel-to-route racing, keeps it very wide there, and yeah, he's gone Ben Gallagher, but Conor O'Keefe trying to get the switchback here, has already gone past Ben Gallagher. Now going to try to get past Melty as well. Ben Gallagher trying to get down the inside, but Conor O'Keefe around the outside, and that's a fantastic late-braking move. Conor O'Keefe absolutely sending it around the outside, and well, that's an overtake Lewis Hamilton could be proud of.
I mean, they weren't working. These two Ferraris weren't working together in qualifying. Melty didn't give Conor a slipstream, or I think it was the other way around. But they seem to be really working together here in the race on these opening laps, trying to keep Ben Gallagher behind. As we'll have DRS down into the stadium section, and now this next lap will have it. As Conor misses his braking zone. And
Melty hit the wall. Melty hit the wall, and he's got wing damage. What has just happened to the Ferraris? Like, I know they love a bottle, but my god, yeah, Melty's lost his entire front wing, and of course he'll have to go into the pits. That is bizarre.
Typical Ferrari. Screwing up on their own.
Yeah, that completely caught me by surprise there, and yeah, it's Ben Gallagher currently in the lead. He was third going into the final sector, and he's somehow ended up in first. That's of course not down to overtaking moves, because that would have been insane for him to overtake two people in the final sector. Just completely Ferrari bottling it on their own. Conor's not completely out of it, of course, but yeah, they hit Melty's really being hurt there. We've
Conor lost traction.
Yeah, Conor's lost traction. Harry down the inside. Let's keep it clean, guys. And they have just about. And Siruncha was side by side with Flip Namdram as well. They've managed to handle that now, but Siruncha's ahead into 5th. And there's another yellow flag, and that's Melty.
Melty.
That's such a shame. Such a strong start to the race, but I think he did this last week as well, and also in lobby 4. He looked promising at the start, and then he just kept on spinning and spinning and spinning. Of course, damage was off back then, but yeah. Massive shame for him.
Yeah, Ben still leading this race. That's fast lap 19.8. I think that was somewhere around the fastest lap we had. Lobby 3. So Ben is absolutely flying. He's broken that 1 second DRS. So Energistics up to second now. Won't have DRS unless he can get within 1 second going into that third sector DRS zone. Conor's 1.7 behind. He ran wide. He won't have DRS. Harry behind him will. But this straight just isn't long enough, and I don't think Harry was even close enough to think about an overtake. That's going to help him stay really close through this wannabe stadium section. It's a little bit loose on traction, and the two Alpines breathing down the neck of the Aston Martin as they enter into the Estes section. Whoever's carrying more downforce here is definitely going to pull away. And it looks like the two Alpines are carrying a little bit more downforce than Harry. Very interesting setups going on. The varying setups that we have now with being able to run 0 to 50 wings on both the front and the rear has absolutely changed this game and changed the strategy of league racing. Do you go for the flat outs straights and just be a straight line bullet, or do you be more technical, faster in the slower sections? It is just absolutely brilliant. I am all for it.
Which one would you prefer yourself? As actually, let's put a hole in that. Energetic starting to go around the outside of Ben Gallagher here. Let's see. I've got a horrible angle here. He's made it around the outside perfectly. Very clean move, and that move sorted. You'll have DRS as well for the next part, and yeah, that'll be very easy to defend with. And that's energetics. Well, into the lead, and he's got the lead for now. Yeah. Ooh.
I think Ben might try to fight back. He's just going to hold position.
And something we've completely missed, Sarunchi has made his way past Harry, so he's done that very nicely off camera. And yeah, it's currently Flip Namsram now on the back of Harry.
Yeah, Harry's going to make up about a tenth here if he's going to want to have DRS to try to protect himself down the front straightaway, but Flip just not close enough. He peeked his nose in there trying to get a little peek as Harry runs wide in the stay new section. Harry won't have DRS. This is going to allow Flip to just get as close as he wants to the back of the rear wing of this Aston Martin. And this should be an easy move here for Flip Nazram to get past this Aston Martin.
Yeah, he's got the DRS open. He's still got a bit of DRS. He's not using it, which is very wise of him indeed. And yeah, he's side by side here, and that's quite the easy move. He'll be able to end up just about ahead of him going into the braking zone, and yeah, that's move sorted. He'll have DRS as well to defend with, and that's someone around in the S section. I think that's Axel, unfortunately, again. Yeah, it is. Oh, that's a massive shame. But anyway, moving on, as Marcy sending a fast lap, he'll be happy with that, although it's on a soft tyre, so yeah, it's to be expected actually. Ben Gallagher losing a bit of time already to Energetics. Energetics, of course, on that soft tyre, not that soft tyre, the medium tyre, which will really help him in terms of grip, but he's already done very well to get out of DRS, and Ben Gallagher does not have DRS here, and I'm gonna be bold here. He won't have it either on the main straight.
Yeah, he's gonna find 210s right now. The detection point is just in the middle, that small straightaway or in between the two parts of that baseball stadium. He's not gonna have DRS here, but I think this is a really good time to see just how much straight line speed Ben can take, and who's carrying less downforce. They seem to be even on downforce. Just Ben wasn't able to make up any time.
Yeah.
I don't think Connor even made up time either. So these three guys must be running close to the same amount of downforce, same wing settings. So it doesn't seem like we're going to have that advantage of someone running 0-0 wings compared to someone that might be running like 25 or 18.
And we've got Flip Damsram here going around the outside of Sarunchi and already making that move stick before getting to the braking zone. Going very deep there though. I'm not quite sure what happened, but Sarunchi's still on the inside. Flip Damsram is going to rejoin quite cleanly, but I'm not sure. He had that position absolutely locked and loaded, and he just ran wide. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Maybe he wants to overtake Sarunchi again just to assert dominance in this Alpine partnership, but that's a strange one if you ask me.
Yeah, it's really easy to, if you just take a little bit too much speed, you're not going to make that corner and you will run wide, but usually you can defend that, because sometimes it will throw the driver behind off. Be like, oh, we ran wide, and then you just ran wide. So really good composure there from Sarunchi to keep his head down and get past him. But Flip is going to have the DRS. He should get the move done into turn 4. I don't think he's close enough to get it done here into turn 1.
Let's see, no, not quite. He's got a lot of straight line speed though. Harry was nowhere near at the end of the straight. 8 tenths back, 9 tenths back even. Oh, and slight hiccup there on the throttle pedal. He's already derating. He's still using ERS Sarunchi, so that's not ideal. Going around the outside here is Flip.
Ooh.
Using a bit of extra follow there, keeping it side by side currently. Just bumps it out slightly wide. Sarunchi's off track currently. And I think that's Flip who's got the position. Not quite as clean as we've seen in battles previously, but Flip now into 4th position, and he'll definitely try to look forward from this point onwards.
Yeah, definitely not the cleanest overtake we've seen. A little bit of shoving between the two Alpines, but Flip gets the move done, and I think it just seems like he may be the quicker Alpine, so maybe in Sorrento's best interest to just stick behind, use that DRS to help you stay ahead of Harry, and then when they get to the pit stops, just pit after Harry or pit after Flip, and just still work together for the rest of this race. I mean, they're in a really good position, 4th and 5th. This should hopefully solidify their positions in the divisional placements. But Sorrente, he's not taking my advice. He's going to go down the inside into turn number 1. Can he get the move cleared? He's going to move over in the braking zone, take the racing line, and he's going to have the DRS. There's no detection point into turn 1, so Sorrente will have the DRS, and he will continue to pull away. But Harry didn't get a good exit out of turn 3, so Flip will be safe and live to fight another day against his teammate. I mean, other than the little shove that Flip did, this has been a pretty clean battle between the two Alpines.
Yeah, it's been very enjoyable to look at for now, as Tsunoda makes a small mistake there coming out of that corner, so the gap is back down again. But looking a bit further forward, Conor O'Keefe has really caught up to Ben. I'm not sure whether Ben's made a mistake or whether Conor's just exhibiting great pace, but yeah, he's right onto the back of Ben Gallagher, and he's going to be possibly looking for a move into turn 1, or either turn 1 or turn 4, as someone spun. I think that's Swip. Talking about mistakes, Conor O'Keefe's made a slight mistake there, and he's already dropped back a bit from Ben Gallagher.
Oh, flips around. Final corner.
Oh, okay, he's been able to spin it around. He doesn't have damage. His ego will definitely be damaged though, so, and he's gone into the pits. Yeah, I'm not surprised that he might have wing damage actually. I'm not quite sure. Let's just go on board with the pit stop, and yeah, let's see. He doesn't have wing damage, so that's at least one small positive with a bunch of negatives with it. Yeah, let's look. That's quite unfortunate because that was a really nice battle that was unfolding in front of our eyes, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. And yeah, let's look further down now. We of course talked about that Conor O'Keefe and Ben Gallagher battle that was brewing. It's currently still around the 8/10 mark, so Conor isn't looking that threatening as of right now, but he's got DRS here. He might be closing up slightly to Ben Gallagher, as Ben Gallagher goes a bit deep into that braking zone. And yeah, going back to that topic we were talking about earlier, what do you prefer, running like wings that are quite stable and making your car a lot more predictable through corners, or the lower wings and basically a insane amount of straight line speed on the straight?
I think especially here I chose more of a straight line speed setup. But even then, I think it was just this sort of... I found out that it's just the physics that they've changed with the wing changes that they've made. Instead of having, 1 to 11, now it's 0 to 50. It's just they've had the whole range. We can use it now. I think that is what they called it, of downforce settings. And it still kind of applies the same thing, where if you have a higher front wing and lower rear wing, you can still have a ton of grip in the corners, but because that rear wing is a lot lower and producing less drag, you still will be quick. So I think most of the setups we're going to see are going to be front wing somewhere in the 20s, and then the rear wing somewhere in the teens. So the numbers have changed, but I don't think the sort of higher front wing, lower rear wing, I don't think that's going to go anywhere. But at least for me, at least for this track, I went with more of a straight line setup with these two very long straights.
Yeah, well, I haven't been league racing too much as of late. I remember like the last time I properly league raced like full time was on F1 2020, and I was an absolute I'll limit my curse words here. I wasn't exactly the nicest guy, as Jay Hings is retired from the session going for the S section. Yeah, well anyway, coming back to the topic, I was someone who always used the lowest wing possible, and still was competitive in terms of lap time, because it just helped save ERS, and it was so much easier to battle with. Like, knowing that even if you're 7/10 behind coming onto the straight, you'll still end up right up someone's gearbox no matter what.
I think I mean, the setups are all preference based, so if you like high downforce, predictable in the corners, nice and easy over the bumps, you're going to choose that over being an absolute bullet in the straight line. And I think this game it's allowed our drivers to be a little bit more open in their setups, which I mean, like I said before, it's really going to help change the way that these guys league race, and now they're going to have to think about these setups, because before, I mean, the wings between our drivers might have been maybe only 1 or 2. Now it's maybe 10, 12, sometimes 30. I know a couple of the social races I've done for some of my other leagues, some of those guys are running still pretty competitive, so it's just whatever you like and whatever you can make work.
And actually, we've got a battle finally on track again. Harry and Sirunches. Harry going around the outside, braking late, trying to make this move stick. He's still around the outside, very tight into this corner. Sirunches still around the outside, taking a lot of speed, and he's picked up a penalty, unfortunately. Harry's still around down the inside. Sirunches keeping it around the outside very nicely indeed. Harry's got a slightly better exit, and he's going to try to make it around the outside, keeping it side by side. Fantastic racing, and Harry gets that move for now. But that was absolutely beautiful to watch.
Yeah, I'm surprised Sprente really wanted to keep his nose in there. He's really close going into the stadium section here. He's going to poke his nose down the inside. He's not going to wait for the long straight, and now he will. He's going to back out before the hairpin. Now he's just going to try to stay as close as he can, make that overtake easy. And they're fighting for DRS. Oh man.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh,
Sector spun!
Oh my god!
No, he's out!
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Oh no! Oh no!
I feel so bad.
I'm not even sure how Harry ended up with that. Like, I don't see where he could have gotten that.
No, I didn't see a corner cut anywhere.
Maybe.
Well, this has promoted Jav to P4, which is amazing, considering he's made up. How many positions has he made up? Like 10?
Let me just check. He's made up 12 positions so far. Oh, and getting very loose on the rear there. Yeah, this race has been nuts for Jav. Like, he's had a very quiet moment for now, but well, he's into the top 4. He's keeping Harry behind for now. He must be absolutely smiling from ear to ear, just seeing what unfolded in front of him, and he's somehow up to P4 and currently keeping Harry behind as well.
Yeah, Jav's doing a really good job keeping him behind through this lap, but I think Harry will probably have him down at turn number 1. But yeah, that's going to be one of the probably the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Commentating in league racing, that is unreal. I think Axel's spun again.
Yeah, he has on that straight. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe putting the power down too aggressively, but yeah, currently, well, it's Energetics absolutely running away with it. It currently hasn't been cursed yet by us. Let's hope that doesn't happen, of course, in the near future.
Let's leave it this way. Let's focus on the 13 guys.
Exactly. Well, Connor's currently still hounding the back of Ben Gallagher, as we've got another yellow flag. I'm not sure what that is for. I think Axel's... Yeah, Axel. Just letting past a few of the cars lapping him, which is completely fair play, of course. And yeah, Jav is still keeping ahead of Harry. He's doing very nicely indeed. He's losing time to the guys ahead, unfortunately, but he won't care about that because they are too far ahead. Unless they try to play some kind of DRS chicken again, which we'll see. That would be so incredible if we see it happen twice again. And Axel spun again. It's not been a good race for him so far. And Swip has made it past Jess Gamer, but Jess Gamer is back past. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but oh well. And yeah, it seems Jav is getting an extremely good exit out of the final corner because yeah, Harry is nowhere near making a move into turn 1.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, we've seen Harry. He's been. I mean, he fought the two Alpines and he got past them pretty easily, but he seems to be struggling behind Jav Cern, the REL founder. But I think eventually Harry should get past him, whether Jav makes a mistake or Harry just finds some pace out of the final corner. I think the move's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna be a popular move, but I think it's gonna happen eventually.
Yeah, and Axel finally comes into the pits and retires. And Harry.
Oh, it's not gonna happen.
Harry, he spun, making a very aesthetically pleasing 360, but that won't help his tires in the slightest. And well, we've already pretty much reached the halfway mark, and we still haven't seen like a regular pit stop. I'd say maybe Flip and Amsterdam, but not even him. I'd say. When do you think we'll see our first stops coming in?
I believe the regular pit stop window was around lap 22 or so. So we're nearing the pit stop window, but at least for Energistics on the mediums, he should be coming in soon. If he's going to stick with the regular strategy, if he's going to try to stretch these tires a little bit longer and go on the softs to the end. The softs can only last about maybe 8 laps at most. So he's going to have to do another 10 laps on these mediums if he's going to want to get the softs to the end. But at this rate, I think he should just play it safe and just pit when he's told.
Yeah, and I'm also interested to see whether he'll go onto the softs, of course, and whether the guys behind will choose to go into the softs or mediums. Oh, as Connor isn't like on traction coming out of the not Castle Stadium section. He does not look confident whatsoever, and Flip Namsram and Swip, not Flip Namsram, Just Gamer and Swip are constantly swapping positions. I'm not quite sure whether they're having a battle or just saying after you every single time they go into a corner. But yeah, that's currently happening off screen, and yeah, I think Connor is happy with the position he's in now. He's charging a little bit of ERS every single lap, just a few percent with that DRS, of course. And yeah, it looks like he's content with the situation he's in.
Yeah, I think Connor knows that he'll probably be on the faster tire compared to Energistics in the end. So I think just sticking behind, saving the ERS, and just waiting for these pit stops to pan out, I think should be his main goal. But the thing about these pit stops is that the tires, because they're not under tire blankets anymore, they come out at about 160 degrees Fahrenheit, which is something Celsius, I have no idea. But they're cold. That's the important thing, they're cold, and they take about a lap and a half to actually warm up. So usually the undercut is the better option. So if Connor gets to his pit window and realizes that Ben hasn't pit, I think he should pit, because he'll have those fresh tires and those warm tires going into those next laps. As he's maybe gonna peek a move into turn 1, and yes he does, down the inside into turn 1, just not there. Ben brakes just a little bit later as there's a spinning Alpine right in the middle of the track as they just drive right through.
Oh, spinning again in the background. And yeah, I think that's Ben holding off that attack for now. I'm surprised though, they've got, like, in terms of tires, you'd expect their tires to be better than Energetic 6, but yeah, they're not making any ingrounds as of right now. Energetics is doing extremely well out in front, and he's absolutely nothing to worry about right now. He's cruising at the front.
Yeah, I mean, even with the DRS that Connor and Ben have, usually that just kind of pushes those two along, and usually you can make up some ground. But it's not happening here, and that's
Ooh.
really surprising me. As Connor makes a big mistake, he won't get DRS. He wasn't to the detection point, and that is just ruin his chances of trying to get an overtake done and stick within that DRS and make sure his lap times are just that much quicker. And now I think his undercut window is probably too large, because usually you want to be right on the guy's tail going into the pit stops if you're going to try to make that undercut work. So I don't think it's going to work now, but I think we'll just have to wait and see what these guys' strategy are. They should be pitting soon. Yeah, Jav and Ghost are in the pits now.
Yeah, they've both gone into the pits at the same time. I'm assuming they'll both just go for mediums. Oh, but Ghost Recon has been held in the pits by, I think that's Sir Ibo. Yes, it is. So he'll definitely not be pleased with that. Jav again will be grinning from ear to ear. And yeah, coming out on the track now, he's right behind Sir Ibo, but he'll just pick up a slipstream. I'm not sure actually because the car's ghosted, but yeah. Clean air out on track, 10 seconds ahead of him with absolutely no one in that gap, and Jess Gamer behind him on all their tyres, so I don't think he'll have too many troubles with her behind him either.
Yeah, Job's definitely in clean air, and with these tires not being warm coming out of the pits is that if you come out in clean air like this, you don't have to defend from anybody. You can warm up these tires pretty easily, as Connor comes into the pits, the first of our race leaders. Puts on a set of mediums and out he goes.
Yeah, and let's see if he...
We'll have to see if Ben reacts to this. I wonder if he's going to pit now or if he's going to pit just a lap or two later.
Yeah, and let's also see Energetics. He's definitely going to stretch his tires to softs, because still driving around on those mediums, he'd have to go for softs. I'm... interested to see whether he can make that strategy work. He's confident he's confident in his own abilities. Otherwise he wouldn't be stretching him this long. Ben Gallagher is catching slightly now. It's now on the 4 second or around the 4 second mark the gap currently is, which is it's come down a few tenths in the past few laps, but it's still not as much as Ben Gallagher would have wanted.
Yeah, he's made some inroads, but like you said, it's not a lot, but it might be enough to where Ben might come out ahead. But obviously, the softer the tires, the easier they are to heat up. So I think Ben should just try to get as close as he can, and coming when both him and Energistics pit, and then really at that point, it should just be consistent on your tires, and just hopefully Energistics tires falls off at the end of the race and you can catch him and maybe make that last lap or second to last lap overtake to win this race.
And Flip Naumsram sitting the fastest lap. He's done it on 13 lap old mediums, which is quite impressive if I'm going to be honest, considering a few guys behind him are on a bit fresher medium tires. Maybe they haven't been able to put in a representative lap so far yet. But that's still impressive. We knew he had the pace early on in the race, but just due to circumstances, he isn't quite able to be at the front currently. As Ghost Recon absolutely obliterates that fastest lap from Flip Naumsram. So yeah, that says that to me. That's they've got quite good pace.
I think. I mean, the mediums were always the race tire of choice, and it's really the first race that I've seen the hards be the tire that the majority of the grid starts on. I haven't really seen too many races like this, so it might just be the nature of this track. But yeah, really good lap from Ghost, and Ben and Energistics still staying out. But now the gap between Ben and Energistics is coming down dramatically. I mean, last time we really talked about it was maybe, what, 6 seconds, 5 seconds? Now it's down to 3.3.
Unfortunately, that's Ghost Recon who's just spun coming through the S section after setting that fastest lap. He got overconfident, I think, and yeah, that was that. But anyway, yeah, talking about that gap between energetics and Ben Gallagher, it's coming down. Oh, wait, what's happened to energetics? He's lost a massive heap of time there. It's now down to 2 seconds, and I'm not sure whether he's getting nervous, but this is looking quite tasty now for the lead.
He might just be thinking that his tires are at the end of their life, and he might just trying to be nurture these home. He's still not pitting, and Ben is just ever so close into DRS range.
Yeah, energetics
he's still
burning.
pulling away on the straights.
Energetic was burning ERS there. He went from like 40% to 20%, and Ben Gallagher's just keeping it at around 60%. He's happy where he is, and well, considering he's gaining time, I'm not surprised. Got to say,
I don't think I'm not too sure. I have a feeling Energy6 is trying to stretch these to get to that soft stint. I mean, he has to, but I mean, at the cost of Ben Gallagher catching him and passing him even before the pit stops. I don't know.
Yeah, really strong for that S section compared to energetics, and of course something we can't forget. He's got penalties, but Connor in behind, he was at 24 seconds when he came out of the pits. He was 24 seconds behind Ben Gallagher. He's been able to put that down to 20.4. He's definitely already within that undercut window, and energetics is coming into the pits already. He thinks he can make this softs go 11 laps in this race. Something we'll have to see. Let's also see where he comes out in relation to Connor, as Connor's just passed an Alpine there. Don't think you picked up any DRS from that, unfortunately. Let's see. Connor flat out down the straight, of course. Energetics just taking off that pit limiter. Connor looking very eagerly at the back of that Red Bull. He's within a second already. Of course, Energetics' tires won't be quite up to speed just yet. Let's see, can he make a move just yet? Not yet. But of course, he will have very warm tires compared to Energetics. Energetics tires will warm up very quickly. He's completely up his rear using that ERS. Energetics defending the inside. Connor around the outside. Let's see if he can make this move stick. Energetics still down the inside, and Connor's made that move stick, which is very, very costly stuff for Energetics in a fight against Ben Gallagher.
Yeah, that was crucial to get past. Energetics tires are just not up to temperature yet. But I mean, if it took Connor that long to get past him, I think the overtake he's going to have on Ben Gallagher. And there goes Ben, he's into the pits. 25 laps on those hards. Have to go all the way down to the end of the pit lane for the Haas pit box. It seems to be Swift.
Jav spun.
Oh, it's Jav.
Oh.
Oh.
Let's see
I
here.
don't think he's lost any positions.
No, he had a massive gap behind him, and Ghost Recon of course spun as well. So currently he's still where he is, and that's Ben Gallagher coming out just behind Energetics. I think he's going to be just out of second once he comes into this set of corners. Energetics behind Connor though. He's really getting held up here. He'll be desperate to make the move to not fall into the clutches of Ben Gallagher. He's using that ERS, using that DRS as well. Looking towards the rear, going around the outside here. Has to brake late to get past. Connor brakes late as well. Still side by side for here. Just about keeps it on track. Connor still around the outside, and that's Energetics past and into the lead.
A really good overtaking, and this is exactly what Ben wanted, because he's still trying to warm up these tires. With Connor and Energetics fighting, it's going to help. It's going to slow them down. It's going to help Ben catch up. I don't think if Energetics and Connor were fighting, Ben would have caught this much of a gap up, because now he's within DRS going into the stadium section, and he's going to stay in DRS or he's going to stay within that 1 second DRS zone going down the front straightaway. And now with those, he hits a little bit too much curb, unsettles the car. He's still 9/10 back, so that's good enough for DRS. But just how much better are these softs going to be And will Energistic and Ben pull out enough of a gap to where when Connor's mediums start becoming better than the softs, they won't have to worry about Connor overtaking him towards the end of this race?
And I'd just like to mention the ERS levels. Energetics and Connor are all over both. Actually, Energetics is at 33%. Connor, sorry, Connor is at 12%. But Ben Gallagher has definitely got the best of them all. He's at like 56% currently. He's definitely looking the best in terms of ERS. And if they do end up battling, that could prove a massive advantage for him.
That's going to be a big advantage down the long straight, definitely, as Bosnia comes into the pits, throws on the soft tires. He's going to promote Ghost Recon, and Jamie Met up one position.
Ooh, and Connor has already dropped out of that DRS window.
Ben just getting, is breathing on the gearbox. You can taste the fumes coming from the back of the Ferrari. Connor's lost DRS. He lost nearly 6/10 just in those 3 corners. And now Connor gonna try to defend with all his might from this Haas. But that DRS, he's not even using any ERS. Connor squeezed into the inside. There's Sir Ibo, who just came out of the pits. He's gonna get out of the way, but an easy move for Ben Gallagher to get past Connor into turns 1, 2, and 3. And he's going to have the DRS down into turn 4. And those mediums just don't seem to be working in Connor's favor.
Very confused though. Like, I would have definitely used some ERS there if I was Ben Gallagher. Just trying to get closer and closer to Energetics in front and try to get within that DRS as well of Energetics. He's already catching up quite a bit so far. He's already nearly within that 1 second window. So maybe he's just very confident in his own pace that he'll be able to catch up without having to use any ERS, as he uses it here very wisely, I'd say. And he's now within the DRS, goes quite deep there, and he picks up a penalty. Oh no! Oh, that's a massive shame for Ben Gallagher, and I think that might have just ruined our battle for the leader.
Yeah, Energistics, I just checked the race director. Energistics only has 1 warning. So he's got 1 more corner cut to spare if he feels like he wants to gain an extra 10th or 2. But that's heartbreaking. Because he was catching him and he was easily going to get past him in these remaining 7 laps. But now he's got to do it and pull a 3-second gap on the same tires, only 1 lap newer. It's just not going to happen unless Energistics makes a mistake.
Yeah, it's never out of the equation, of course. I think Energistics made a single mistake on his hard stint as well, which could have been something. But yeah, let's just see Ben Gallagher really on the teetering edge here of that DRS. It's whether I don't think he's quite got it, unfortunately. So he'll have to wait a bit more and hopefully not make a mistake going into this section again and then losing out on the DRS. It's around that 1.1 second window. He's done that very nicely though. It's right on the edge, but I think he's got DRS here, which will help him massively to close up to the back of Energetics.
Yeah, he's got DRS. We'll have to see how much it closes him up. It was 8/10 when he opened it. It's going to be about 6/10, 6.5, 5.5 actually.
Ooh,
oh, he goes really deep into 1. The missed braking point there. He's going to lose. He's lost all that time he gained. So really unfortunate to make yet again another mistake there.
He has provided us with
the gap.
Great entertainment though.
Oh, this is fantastic.
As Harry puts in a 17.5, fair play. He's bolted on new soft and he's really making good use of them. And yeah, it currently looks like Jav is, as Ben Gallagher runs wide, currently looks as if Jav is a white girl with 4 black guys surrounding him. less I say that, the better. Yeah, and Ben Gallagher really closing up here. Yeah, he's around 5/10 of the back of Energetics. He might even be able to make the move at the end of the straight here, using that ERS. Energetic isn't, and yeah, he's closing up rapidly onto the back of Energetics. Energetics still not using any ERS, and this looks like a very easy move.
Yeah, he was ahead before the braking zone, moves over into the line of Energistics. Energistics still going to try to fight back as much as he can. Ben will get the DRS. Oh, it's Energistics, a little bit of a slip upon traction. And Ben's going to shoot off into the distance here. 7/10 going into turn 4. Great move from Ben Gallagher to get ahead. I believe that is the other Haas of Marcy there pulling off to the side. So let our two leaders fight it out for these remaining 4 or 5 laps. It will be 4 to go once they hit the line. But now that Ben's ahead, can he stay ahead and can he pull out that 3-second gap, or will Energistics have anything to say about it? Energistics now doesn't really have to push. As long as he can stay within that DRS detection and keep getting DRS and not lose it.
Ooh,
he should have the win as Ben makes a mistake once again.
Yeah, it's just those small mistakes in the... Oh, and he goes extremely wide there. Those small mistakes in the stadium section are really costing him, and I think it's going to also be the reason that he can't get out of DRS. Energetics really closing up to the back of him now, going down the inside. These guys are going to do battle. Ben Gallagher breaks very late around the outside, keeping it side by side currently. Energetics, of course, going to have DRS for this part of the straight, and yeah, that's the move. Being stuck in there. And I don't think Ben Gallagher, he's going to push, he's going to use all his ERS, going to go down the inside, very late breaking move. Oh, that was very late in the day, and I think he's not going to be able to get back. Actually, he's going to be able to get back. He's pulled off the switchback move here. On the Energetic, still side by side here. Still side by side. Energetic is going to have the inside for this corner. Are they going to keep it side by side for here? Ben Gallagher around the outside, and he's made it stick. Absolutely incredible stuff between these guys, putting on a show for us in lobby 4. Might not be the quickest, but my god, is it entertaining.
Yeah, that's not the first time we've seen that move stick going into the SS section. We've seen it before with Harry and I think it was Flip Nazaram who went side by side together through that corner. But once again, Ben is ahead. Can he break the DRS and can he pull down those 3-second gap he needs? I just don't think it's going to happen this late in the stage. He's only got 3 more laps to try and do it.
Something surprising though.
What a battle. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Something intriguing though. Energetic isn't using his ERS at all as he goes quite deep into that corner. My god. He isn't using any of his ERS. Like, he could use that easily to keep in touch with Ben Gallagher. And he's just using none of it. He's got 2.5 laps left to burn it all, and he's on 60% currently.
Yeah, I think at this point, Energistics knows that, you know, he doesn't have to push. He's seen it once before, that when Ben gets ahead, he can't hold a gap big enough, so, you know, not have to worry about his 3-second time penalty anymore. So I think Energistics knows that if he can just stick behind, stay within that DRS, he should have this win through penalties, which I've always said that winning it on track is better than winning it on penalties because you were the fastest man out on the track. But in the case of Energistics, I don't think he really cares.
Yeah, and talking about overtaking moves, Jav, or battling at least, Jav has just been passed by Harry. Harry on, of course, much better soft tires, so he couldn't put up too much of a fight. And yeah, Energetics has now got DRS down this part of the track. I think it's case closed as to who's going to win, except for if Energetics makes a massive mistake or something crazy happens in the last lap and a half.
Yeah. I just checked race director once again. Energistics now is on his 2nd warning.
Ooh.
So that also could be why he's not pushing that much. He doesn't want to overstep that line, literally, and get that penalty, and then have to get Ben on track because it just doesn't seem like Energistics has a straight line speed to get him into turn number 1, and that's when you want to make the move because you will still have the DRS down into turn 4, and it will be easier to defend than if you didn't. So this is interesting. He's only got how many corners are on this track? About 15, 16. He's only got that many more corners to go now, and all he's just got to do is just keep it on the tarmac.
Oh, he's looking comfortable for now. He's just keeping within around 6/10 of him, and yeah, unless he picks up a time penalty anywhere. And he's got a fantastic run for that final corner. He's using ERS. Ben Gallagher isn't currently, and yeah, I don't think he even has to worry about it. It's going to be case closed already going into turn 1. Energetics getting passed very easily on the main straight. Going to pull back ahead of him, and before they even get to the braking zone, he's already made the move stick.
Really good piece of driving from Energistics. Now, yeah, he's not going to have another chance to do it, but if Ben wanted to play this a little dirty, he could have pushed him wide and got him that 3-second penalty. But I don't think that's something we really like to see here in League of Europe. Someone racing a little bit dirtier, but yeah, seems to be case closed. Energistics takes the lead, going through the S's now, and should have this race wrapped up.
Yeah, it's been very impressive so far. He's been one of the only drivers, I think one of the only drivers to make the medium soft strategy work. Oh, as Ben Gallagher teases us into the final sector. He's wasn't quite able to go for that move. He's right up that gearbox now. Oh, he nearly makes that move again. He's spicing it up even on the last lap, even where Energetics. He comes around the final corner and takes the win in lobby 4 after a very absolutely exhilarating battle with Ben Gallagher. Absolutely massive props to those guys for spicing it up for us this race. And yeah, that was just absolutely awesome. Connor coming into 3rd place, and now it's a bit of a wait, unfortunately, until we've got Harry, who's going to cross the line next.
Still a really good race. Lots of entertainment up and down the grid. And yeah, the mediums, hard softs, they seem to be the strategy of the day. Here he comes across the line in P4. Jav, an excellent P5. What a drive from him. I mean, we don't gotta wait till everybody crosses the line. Driver of the day, Jav's turn. Easy.
Oh, well, he's lost the position on penalties though. Yeah, no, okay, never mind.
Now we actually got to think about it.
Well, I've only got one person in mind, in honesty. Has to be Energetic 6.
Yeah.
Actually, Jav's done very well to come from P16 to P6, but I'd say with how dominant the top 2 were today, I'd have to go with Energetics.
Yeah, he drove with his head down. Didn't really make any mistakes. Played the strategy right. Ghost Recon gets driver of the day. Always love to see an old teammate get driver of the day. That's always something really special. But yeah, Energistics he drove his race. He didn't worry about anybody else's. He drove his race to his maximum potential, and he's going to walk away with the win. Yeah,
it's well, we cursed him in qualifying, but we didn't we didn't do it in the race. The race he held his own, and he's on the top step there alongside Ben Gallagher, who I'm not sure whether I'll be commentating, but I'll definitely be checking out Division 4 or Lobby 4 or Lobby 3. I don't know what these guys are in, as my screen is currently having a rave. I'm not quite sure whether that's game glitching out or whether that's just me. But yeah, whether these guys will be in Division 3 or Division 4, I hope they're in the same division as the other, because I'd really like to see these two guys out on the track battling it out with each other.
It was some really good racing. We'll take you through the racing order. 48 minutes was the race distance. Energistics, the fastest man out on the track, takes the win. Ben Gallagher, P2, Connor O'Keefe in P3. There's your podium. Harry Noir, P4, takes home fastest lap of 17.5, blisteringly quick there on those softs. Rest of the top 10, Bosnia, Jav, Jamie, Jess, Ghost, Swip, Marcy, and Flip. Those would have been your point scorers. I believe. Actually, no, Marcy and Flip would not have scored points. Actually, yes, they would have. They were only 1 and 2 laps down. Ibo, Axel, Srante, Hinged, Melty, Scott, Rumpel, and Old School 3000 rounding out the rest of the grid. They have all DNF'd from this race.
It's always a shame to see, especially in any preseason race. That's when you want to. It's when you want to really impress the admins, show them that you can pull a good race together, even when damage is on and finish. But yeah, I'm interested to see what this will provide for our orgs. Let's see where they're gonna place everyone. But yeah, any final thoughts on the race?
I have no words because that was fantastic. But regardless of where these drivers get placed, I still think that our lowest divisions usually produce the best racing because these guys, they're not the sweats that you see in Tier 1 or Division 1 or Division 2 that practice, 18 hours a day. These guys, they do it as a hobby. They don't do it as their job. And that's what makes this racing so good, is because they make these mistakes like this. They're not perfect, and it just produces this amazing racing that we always see. So you can watch Division 1, Division 2 if you want, but if you want the real action, you got to come down to these lower divisions, Division 4, Division 5, if we even have a Division 5 this year. This is where the action is, so by all means, hit that subscribe button. Bell icon better be hit. And make sure you tune into Division 4s. We're going to be, 10 past 20 UK time, I believe?
Yep.
Alright, perfect. And it's going to be 2 p.m. Central United States. If anybody's watching the United States, I doubt it. Everyone's out enjoying the weekend. But nighttime action, League of Europe, this is where it's at.
Yeah, I couldn't have put it better myself, Brock. Getting that American spirit in with the advertising for League of Europe. Absolutely pleasure to witness it firsthand. And yeah, I've got to say I've thoroughly enjoyed that. A few comments are coming in now. I'm not going to check those because I can't actually really be bothered, unfortunately. And yeah, other than that, I really enjoyed it, and I hope to see everyone who spectated tonight join for all our League of Europe races as soon as the season starts. But for now, I'm gonna wish everyone a very good rest of their weekend, you too, Brock, and a very good night or good rest of your day.